Millions of Bangladeshis went to the polls in a historic election that promises to shake up the country's political landscape. After the 2024 ouster of longtime Premier Sheikh Hasina, many hope that this election will bring in the stability and growth that they desire. Voting concluded at 4 p.m. Dhaka time across 299 constituencies. Till 2 p.m. local time, the voter turnout was 47.91%. The counting of votes is now underway, and the outcome of this high-stakes election is expected to have far-reaching consequences. This election, remember, comes in the midst of a radical political shift. One of the key factors that differentiates this election with the past ones is the absence of Sheikh Hasina and her Awami League party, which was banned from elections following her ouster in 2024. The past elections have been a direct contest between Awami League and the late Khaleda Zia's Bangladesh Nationalist Party, or the BNP. The BNP, led by the recently returned Tariq Rahman, emerged as the front-runner, promising a new path which is focused on job creation and the rule of law. The BNP faces intense competition from Jamaat-e-Islami, who returned to the polls after being barred by Sheikh Hasina's Awami League. Youth-led National Citizen Party, or the NCP, also gave BNP a tough fight. This election is also marked by two decisive voter bloc, Generation Z and women. That's Gen Z and the women. Combined, these groups form a numerical majority of the electorate, with over 40 million voters aged between 18 and 29 and more than 62 million women voters. These voter groups could have a massive impact on the outcome of this election. Observers believe that the results may depend less on traditional party machinery and more on generational aspirations and gender-driven voting trends. Voters will decide on a national referendum as well. Remember, this referendum will determine whether Bangladesh adopts the July National Charter, which is a sweeping package of state reforms proposed in the aftermath of the unrest. This charter seeks to curb executive powers, putting limits on the term of the Prime Minister, strengthening the judiciary, reinforcing the Election Commission's independence, and preventing the misuse of security forces. If passed, it would amount to one of the biggest governance overhauls in Bangladeshi history. While the polls have been fairly conducted in many areas, reports of sporadic violence and allegations of rigging have also emerged throughout the day today. Reports suggest that several BNP candidates withdrew due to such poll rigging. The BNP has accused the Jamaat coalition of distributing pamphlets promising cash incentives to voters who cast their ballot for the party. Jamaat, in their handouts, claimed this move promised salvation in the afterlife. Allegations have also surfaced that a presiding officer in Nagaon signed and sealed a result sheet before the vote counting was finished, a clear violation of the election rules. Following the complaint, the presiding officer was withdrawn from duty around 1:30 p.m. In response to the election day events, former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, meanwhile, has called this election as a carefully planned farce organized under the leadership of the Chief Advisor, Muhammad Yunus. Hasina criticized the absence of Awami League and voter participation, describing this election as a deceptive exercise that disregarded democratic values and the spirit of the Constitution. On the other hand, Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus, who took power through a controversial transition, described the election as a moment of great joy and called for the democratic decency, regardless of the final outcome. Muhammad Yunus has urged the nation to embrace the results with a sense of hope and unity, promising to respect the will of the people. This election follows a contentious period in Bangladesh's political history. Back in January 2024, remember, the Awami League had claimed a landslide victory in the 12th parliamentary polls. It was boycotted by the BNP, but that government was later overturned in the August 2024 uprising. Now, with tension still high and political divides deep, with vote counting still underway, all eyes are now on the final results and the new political order that will emerge from them. With counting underway in Bangladesh, the stakes are higher than ever. While early polls showed the BNP to be the front runner, the story on the ground may be different. WION Sibbal, who has been covering these elections from Dhaka, gets us the latest update from the ground. Take a look.
It's been a packed day here in Bangladesh. We saw voting all throughout the day, and we know that now it's being counted. We'll get to know initial results, but a clearer picture will emerge on Friday. Also, big question on the government formation. It looks like neck on neck when it comes to the BNP and the Jamaat, and clearly the big focus is for the next government, good governance. At least that is what many people we spoke to on the ground are hoping for. The next government inherits a weak economy and bad relationship with neighbors like India and Myanmar. So clearly an important election for the people of Bangladesh. That is what the feeling is on the ground. But there is a lot of work left to do.